Okay, class, we are to Friday, April 3rd. You made it through the week. Great job. And we are on practice page 193 in language. So this is our last instruction on language for this week. I do not have the pages for some reason, so I'll use a blank board and we will just go for it. Maybe I can make some nice lines. That way I could write a little straighter and your eyes won't go crazy. All right? Okay, so we're going to practice being able to summarize a paragraph. All right, so on the top of 193, the title is Make It Short. So keep it short. That's what we're going to try to do. We're going to write one sentence for each paragraph that just tells what the main idea of that paragraph is, what it's about. So let's read that together with me, okay? Kites have been around for a long time. They have also carried special instruments to learn more about the weather. Some kites were even used to make signals during wars. So, do we copy kites have been around for a long time? Is that what it's talking about? No, it's talking about some of the things that they've done. They carry special instruments. Some were used to make signals during wars. So how about kites have had many uses? That would probably be a great summarization. Capital kites have had, and that gives us the idea that they've been around for a while. Kites have had many. I'm writing really big, so, but you can fit it all in there. Kites, oh, you've got 2 lines. Kites have had many uses. Period. That would be number 1. So pause, copy that, come back. All right, porcupine fish. They get their name from their sharp spines. They are able to puff themselves up with air or water. They can make themselves twice as big as they usually are. So they're kind of describing porcupine fish, right? That one's kind of hard. How about porcupine fish have sharp spines and can puff themselves up? How about that? Porcupine fish. Make sure I'm spelling it correctly. Porcupine fish have sharp spines, great protection, and can puff themselves up and can puff themselves up to be much larger. And both of those would discourage something from swallowing them, right? I would think so. So you want to pause and copy that. All right. I am going to erase the first line so I have space for number 3. The third paragraph. Here are some things that will help you do your best when you take a test. First, listen carefully to the directions before beginning. Second, read all of the questions and answer carefully. And third, take time to check your answers. This is something we always talk about, right? So we can condense that to do your best on a test. What? Listen to directions, read everything, and check your answers, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. on a test, and then we'll make a comma because we're about to tell. Listen to directions. And that would also include read directions. Listen to directions. Okay, listen to directions. Read everything. Well, there we have it. Read everything. And I might add, don't leave any blanks. Okay, we get that a lot around here. Read everything, and that would come into and check your answers. So when you go back and check your answers, if you see a blank, don't turn it in. Check your answers. Okay, so that is that. So if you need to pause, finish writing, then come back. And there's one last page, and that is page 194. And again, I don't have that up on the board. Okay? So, it's adding the ED and the ING endings to base words. All right? Let me see if I can get a fresh page. No. There we go. Okay, you got a whole bunch of words. I'm going to make this to where you will be able to do this on your own. All right, do you notice that every last one of those words has an E on the end? Let's read those words. Smile, trace, trade, vote, raise, skate, slice, whine, and rake. You're going to be adding suffixes that start with a vowel. So what do you know that you're supposed to do to those base words before you add a suffix that begins with a vowel? That's right, you drop the silent E. So why don't you just go down with your pencil and just draw a little line through all the E's at the end of each of those base words. So when you go to write them, like smiled, when you go to write smiled, you will not add the E until you add the suffix. So, in other words, you had smile, you crossed out the E, so it's S-M-I-L-E-D. Same thing with ING and so on and so forth, okay? So just add, drop the E, add the suffixes, okay? So you'll be able to pause and do that. And the only other thing I want to tell you is I want you to read your Who Drew the Cartoon phonics reader, and I want you to get familiar with all that vocabulary. And then if you have time, go on to YouTube with some help and find American Sign Language for elementary students, and go ahead and play around with that and see if you can learn some signs. All right, it's called American Sign Language for elementary students, and see what you can find and do there, okay? Alrighty, that ends this week for language. I will see you later. Bye-bye.